Man, I hate doing intros, so I'm just going to get to the point. I'm a little bit nihilistic. However, I am also, I guess, optimistic in a sense as well. So I don't know, what would you call that? An optimistic nihilist, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I consider myself, optimistic in the sense that, I'm alive right now. Okay, I'm alive right now, and I may as well make the most of what I've got, and I may as well at least try and do something. But at the same time, I'm nihilistic in the sense that I just know that everything is, for the most part, just pointless. I know that there's no point to any of this, that working is pointless, that, nothing will matter in the end. The chance of you leaving a legacy behind is like next to none. You probably will be forgotten one generation later. Like, you're gone. You will never exist again in the sense of thought. Nobody really will care about you enough to write you in the history books. You will pretty much amount to nothing. And yet I'm optimistic in the sense of but that's okay, because you know what, I'm here now. I may as well just make the most of it. Like I said, I may as well do something. I mean, that's not really a reason to just melt away and into nothingness, you know what I mean? But I've just been having these thoughts, man. Working is an absolute waste of time. You get absolutely nothing out of it. The reason I feel this way is because, once upon a time you'd be able to work, you'd be able to go and have your job, and you'd be able to, save up enough money, you'd get a house, you could raise a family. And these days, you basically, you earn the same amount as you did 10 years ago, and you get half as much now than you did back then, if that makes sense. I'm sorry if I'm jumbling my words. I just feel it's a waste of time, man. I feel like it's an absolute pointless waste of time. I would probably have just as much doing nothing as I do doing something. Because, okay, so let's say I go to work, I save all my money, but then what? I can't get a deposit, so, I mean, a single wage isn't really enough to get a deposit. But then people say, oh, well, you could have gone to university and, studied a bit harder. Well, I know people that did, and they still can't get jobs, and the jobs that they do get still don't pay very much. In fact, it's quite interesting that you could just go and do a 2-week course over here and do, security, and you're getting paid $40 an hour. Meanwhile, you go and you study hard, or you become a graphic designer, for example, or you become a doctor. I mean, yeah, you earn a little bit more as a doctor. I mean, even as a surgeon, you would earn a shit ton of money, like $300K or more a year. I mean, that would be great. But how many people really have the brain to be able to actually become a surgeon? And how many people are willing to stick out 10 years or more of education just to get that position? And then imagine how much the debt is going to be. So by the time you get that 12 or 10 years or whatever, however long of education you need to be a surgeon or whatever it is, it's how much do you owe by then? How much money do you owe by then? And I'm guessing that it's a lot of money, man. So is it what could you do in 12 years? What could you do in 12 years instead of becoming a doctor? I mean, I feel in that 12 years, you're probably better off just, getting a trade. Do your 3 or 4 year apprenticeship or whatever, however long it goes for, and do your trade, and, straight away you'll be making at least 100 a year, 100K a year, right? You'd have no debt by then. And then secondly, you would be, able to save a lot of that money. The ultimate way, if you really want to save money, considering the average rent around here in Australia, Melbourne specifically, is $600 a week. I mean, who has $600 a week? And a lot of people don't want to rent in a share house, which is just, it's ridiculous. The amount of people that I had to live in with a share house at the time, Dude, like, you have to, like, deal with their living habits, you have to deal with their mess, you have to deal with, like, their personalities, or the fact that they might be awake at different times to you making noises, or you them, like, they're complaining and they're bitching. It's like, not everybody wants to live in a fucking share house. I mean, I don't want to, go back to live in a share house. And, most people don't really have, like, their parents to live with. My mother lives 5 hours away from me, guys, right? So living with her is not an option. I mean, unless I want to go back and, live, like, in the country, and, and then there's, like, nothing there. There's no opportunities. There's nothing there. So, I mean, working, in my opinion, is just so fucking pointless. The only way to actually become something or do something is you need to produce something. Like, you need to, add some sort of value to society more than a job. And it's like, how do you do that? And most people just don't have that in them. I probably don't even have that in me, to be honest. I don't know, dude. I just like trying different things, and see, throw shit to the wall and see if it sticks, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I'm just, like, working is just so fucking pointless. Like, your employer, they don't give a shit about you, man. They don't give an absolute shit about you. They don't care about you at all. You're just a cog in a wheel. You think that your company values you. They do not value you at all, guys. They don't care about you. In fact, they will be more than happy to replace you once they no longer find a need or a use for you. And such is the way of life. I mean, it goes like that with everything, even, friendships or relationships or anything like that. Just, it goes exactly the same way, right? So in the end of the day, like, you're just out there and you're just this person amongst billions of people, and you really are ultimately alone. And, you can sit there and say, I got my friends and my family and all this stuff, but, I mean, a lot of people don't. Some of us are very lucky in that case that we do, but, most of us don't. Most of us don't really have, like, anybody that really truly gives an absolute shit about us, guys, right? So, you need to, live your life as if you are the only person that you can rely on. You need to make sure that you always have a backup plan, or that you always have, a way to get yourself out of a bad situation. So if you lose your job, you need to have a backup. Like, if you lose your job and you can't get another one, where are you going to live? Well, if you don't have the money to go and live somewhere, then while you had a job, maybe you should have invested or purchased a van, just to have that backup in case you don't have a place to live, or, like, you know what I mean? So I think of it like that. I have a van, guys. I have a van. I have a huge van. And, if I were to ever, like, have no place to live, I can rest easy knowing that I can go and live in my van. And you know what? It would probably benefit me more than living in a fucking house anyways, guys. I don't know. It would probably benefit me a lot more, because I won't have to pay rent. I have solar power on my van. I installed that a long time ago. So, I don't have to worry about charging my phone or my power, or, like, running my computer or whatever. I have that as a backup plan. And, it's good to have backup plans, because the way society is going, guys, most people are going to struggle to even afford to fucking, spend, $300 a week on a bedroom, because all the Chinese come over here and they purchase all the properties, and they knock them down, they rent them out and make townhouses and rent out all the rooms for like $250, $300 a week. And it's even more, some of these rooms are rented out for like $350 a week, man, with en suites and stuff. So, a lot of people cannot afford that. A lot of people can't afford that shit. So, I mean, it's very grim. Like, the outlook is very grim, and we just, like, had that little bump in the stock market that just happened. That dropped 1,000 or so points or whatever it was. I haven't looked too much into it, but those things alone send shockwaves across the economies. Everything relies on the American dollar for the most part. Guys. The point is, I guess what I'm trying to say is that for the most part, working is just pointless. I find almost no point in it, and yet I still find myself sitting here trying, making videos, Not even on this channel. I mean, it's probably, been a couple of months since I last posted, a month or whatever. I just don't really have a lot to say, guys. I don't really have a lot to add, sorry. And that's fine. That's fine. I'll just add things that I'm thinking about in certain moments and just share my thoughts. And you guys can sit there and say, oh, you're so negative, you're so blah, blah, blah. And in the end of the day, man, I really don't give a shit what people think, dude. These are my thoughts, man. These are my thoughts. This is what I think. Okay, I'm allowed to think that way, guys, And I think a lot of people would actually agree. I mean, working, it used to have a point, right? You used to have a point. You'd go to work. Like I said, you'd save up, you'd get your house, you'd raise your family. But no one can even do that these days. And you can't sit there and say, oh, but you guys don't work hard enough. I know people that are working very fucking hard, guys. I know people that are working 2-3 jobs, and they're still struggling, man. And yeah, they purchased a house, but in the end of the day, mortgage for a cheap ass fucking house, in a shitty suburb, it still costs $4,500 a month, right? $4,500 a month. Nobody can do that on their own. You need a partner. And then you need to rely on the fact that, what if your partner doesn't stay with you forever? What? You have to rely on the fact that they will have to stay with you and not decide to, dog you out and or cheat or fucking leave you for some other dude or other woman or whatever. You have to rely on the fact that they won't do that. And that's a huge amount of trust, and that's a huge fucking risk, isn't it? It's a huge risk because, most of the marriages in Western society, they end in divorce. Usually initiated by the woman, by the way. So, and that's not sexist, that's just statistics, man. You have to rely on that. And you have to rely on the fact that if you found somebody, you had better find somebody that's so fucking pure at heart that they're just not gonna fucking destroy you like that, man. And that, like I said, it's a huge risk. So it's everything works against you in today's society. You work hard, you get nothing, you get barely enough to scrape by, you get barely enough to pay your bills, you're barely enough, you can't afford a fucking house. It's funny, right, that people can they can easily afford their $2,500 a month on rent and all that, and yet they still can't get mortgages and stuff like that. I don't understand, man. It's just so backwards. But at this rate, you're better off renting anyways, because owning a fucking house is just not worth it, man. It's just not worth it, dude. You have to pay all these land taxes, you have to pay all these other taxes, and tax this, tax that, tax this, tax that. You go to your job and you get your fucking, you get your income tax, and then after you get taxed, you go and you pay for shit, and that's another 10% tax on your already taxed money. So you're paying 10% of GST on your already taxed money, right? And then you got your land tax. So more money that you're spending on your house gets taxed off your already taxed income. So you're paying even more taxes, and that's not even the tax on literally everything else, man. There's just tax. And they just take everything, man. They take everything, and it's and I don't know, man. This whole system is designed against you. So, I mean, whether I work, I will still have nothing. Maybe I'll have a little bit more, but I'll still have nothing. Whether I don't work, I'll still have nothing. It's just that doesn't add up, does it really? So, yeah, working is a waste of time. Don't be loyal. Don't be loyal to these companies, man. If you can find a better opportunity, just fucking go and get it. They will leave you. They will leave you in the end, anyways. That they will fuck you off too. They don't give a shit. They will happily flick you away because to them you are worthless anyways. You're just, like I said, you're a cog in the wheel. You're there to make them money, and if they can find somebody that's more efficient and better, or if they can find a fucking machine to replace you with, or an AI to replace you with, they will do that. They will do that, and they will not hesitate, because you know what? In the end of the day, you know, all that anything or everyone or companies or whatever, everything only cares about fucking the money, guys. The money is the most important thing. The money talks the most, guys, okay? So don't be fucking loyal to these companies. Don't be fucking loyal to any of these people. You know, because like I said, they don't give a shit about you, so why should you give a shit about them, right? However, okay, so that's the nihilism part of everything just gone, the negativity. You can call it what you want. So last time in my other video, I was talking about YouTube channels and the invisible channels, pretty much. The channels that people just look at and they don't think anything of them. You know, these are your DIY channels, your evergreen content channels. And I have an update, guys. I have another channel. I have mentioned it. To the 18 subscribers that I have on this channel, if you watch the other video, you would know what I'm talking about. But if you didn't watch the other video and you're new, just go to the other video I'm talking about. It's like the one before this. But anyways, I was talking about evergreen content channels and like your DIY channels, like how to do this, how to do that, blah blah blah. And yeah, I mentioned I got another channel that's actually monetized, but I got sick of talking about the niche that I was in. I burnt out because I don't like talking about singular topics all the time. In case you guys probably haven't noticed already, yes, I have ADHD. It's a very common thing in our society. Very fucking common thing. I have drugs for it, guys. I have drugs. I have Dex. I have Ritalin. I got drugs, guys. And the drugs help a lot, guys. The drugs help a lot. Ritalin is good. It gives you that motivation. Dex is good. It gives you that concentration. Different drugs for different things, guys. I like certain things for certain things. Does that make sense? Ritalin makes me pretty happy, makes me like motivated, but I don't find myself really doing much when I take it. I just feel happier. I don't feel focused. Right now I'm actually taking the Ritalin. Anyways, the point of this is that it's hard if you have ADHD, because talking about the similar topics on a regular basis gets boring very, very fast. I get sick of things extremely quickly, and my passions die as soon as I find them. Like, I get interested in things and I lose interest in things just as quick as I gain interest in things. And it's a problem, guys. It's a fucking problem, right? It's a pain in the ass, and I hate it, but it's not that bad, really. It's not that bad. If you've got drugs, it makes it easier. But I can say that the drugs do not solve all the problems. You still have to, you still have to do it. You still have to do it. But the drugs do help when you get into it and you do it. Does that make sense? So, I like using the Dex when I do like videos, like editing, making thumbnails, all that sort of stuff. I like to use the Dex for that, because like the Dex just gives me like this just fucking like hyper focus, tunnel vision type shit. Love it, man. Love it. It's great stuff. But yeah, that's one drug that you have to be careful of, because it can be addictive in a sense, or so people tell me. It hasn't happened to me yet. Still taking the lowest dosage. However, like I said, a lot of people somehow struggle and they fall into that trap where they start taking 1, then 2, then 4, then blah, blah, blah. And that happens to a lot of people, guys. So, if you have ADHD and you're watching this video, just, careful how much you take, obviously. So anyways, back on topic, Evergreen YouTube channels. I started posting videos on my old channel, guys. On my old channel. Started posting videos. Getting results. Some days I make 40 cents. Some days I make 10 cents. Some days I make 50 cents. Now you can sit there and you can say, that's not a lot of money, that's like nothing. Well, you know what, man? That's a loaf of bread. That's a small cup of coffee. That's maybe a couple of rolls of toilet paper, guys. That's like fucking 3 avocados. Okay? What else? What else could I buy with... This is like how much it would add up to in a year, by the way. Wait. No, not a year. Actually, that's a month. So yes. I made about $5 last month, guys. I've got to add the stats in here. I'm gonna add the stats in here. But it works. Actually, it works. I've got 2 videos that get external views, and I was like, oh, where do these external views come from? So I searched them up in Google, and it turned out my video actually popped up on the first page, and I'm like, okay, well that makes sense. But you got to do it in a way that you need to target keywords, right? You need to target keywords. So you can't just make videos, and I mean you can, and if you get lucky, you might just stumble across the right keyword, and you might get lucky and get some views happening. But for the most part, you need to niche down. You really need to niche down. You need to be very specific, because there's a lot of things that people are going to search that are very specific. For example, instead of how to change a tire, you write how to change a tire on a Honda Civic. Does that make sense? So you target those long tails. And so when somebody goes into Google and they search how to change a tire on a Honda Civic, then it's more likely that your video will show up due to the relevancy of the keywords. Does that make sense? So the only downside about these types of videos is that they will get less views because they are more niche down. So maybe these videos might get 100 views or 200 views a month, but you're more likely to rank for the keyword, so you're more likely to actually get that spot and show up when people search for it. Now, I haven't made any videos on how to change tires on a Honda Civic because it's just, I don't need to do that, but it can work with anything. It can work with very specific things. It can work with TVs. It can work with air conditioners. It can work with anything that if you can niche it down and be very specific with your keywords, you can easily rank. It's very easy to rank your videos in Google, and you'll get consistent external views. Like I said, the only downside is that you need to put a lot of videos out there, like a lot, you know what I mean? You need to do a lot of videos. So that's sort of the approach that I've taken. The month before I started doing this, I think my channel back then, it had like 500 views, man. And the month after I started doing that, it had, I believe, about 1,600. Now I'm gonna go on my channel right now and have a look at those stats because I want to confirm that. And I will be switching my video over in a moment, but I want to show what I'm talking about. Yeah, I want to show you what I'm talking about. God, this video is already going on 25 minutes. That's wild. Yeah, I can talk a lot, as you guys have noticed. I can talk a lot. So I'm now in my analytics right now, and I'll tell you guys how much I've posted. So I'm gonna go to my my views over here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to record the screen of this video right now. I'm gonna record it, and I'm gonna cut this segment. And I'm gonna come back with the information, but I'll just stick around here. Okay. All right. Okay. I have to blur some of this shit out too, because I obviously don't want to share my channel name. But okay, so on my other channel, I have had 1,559 views in the last 28 days. I made $4.47, which is 81% more than the last 28 days, as it says. So, I mean, that's an improvement, right? In this month, I posted. So in this month, I posted 9 videos, or 9 plus, and there's 2 and then 5. I just post little videos here and there. Okay, so over here, these are the videos that I have posted, and you can see how much money that they've made. I'm not going to show the videos because, you know, obviously I don't really want to give my channel away. But I've posted videos, and the videos that have higher click-through impressions are the ones which are the how-tos, versus like some of my older videos which have a lower click-through rate, guys. And you can see like the estimated revenues and stuff that they've been making. So yeah, so one video here made 82 cents in the last 28 days, and that's cool. Yeah, another one made 40, and these are the views, so you can get an idea of, you know, how much the videos are making per the views and stuff like that. They're very short videos. They're like literally, most of them are under 3 minutes. Some of them are under a minute, but most of them sit around 1 to 2 minutes long. And, you know, they've done seemingly okay. You know, this video got, you know, 99 views. 99 views, made 82 cents. Click-through rate 17%. I think 17% click-through rate is not too bad. I think that's actually pretty high. You know, we've got this one, 40 cents from 79 views in the last 28 days. Not bad. This one gained a subscriber. This one as well. Some of them gain subs. So look, if you're going to do a channel like this where it's like how to, you know, you're going to you're not really going to gain subscribers, guys. So if you want to go into this sort of stuff, then the only way to do it and make money from it is to start off in a niche that would get some subscribers pretty quickly, and then move to another niche while your channel is still young after you get monetized. So you want to get monetized first as quickly as you can, and then just change your niche, because it doesn't really matter. Like, people say, oh, don't change your niche, but you know, you can change your niche, man. You can change your niche, and you know, all these new videos that I'm started posting, they're slowly getting more and more views, and the more consistent that I remain at it, the more they get the views, guys. Okay, so the more you post, the more the algorithm will recognize that you're in a new topic now, and they will start, you know, showing more impressions to people in that sort of, you know, niche or topic or whatever you want to call it. And those videos will slowly start getting pushed more. And one thing I've noticed about these videos is that over time, you know, they slowly garner more views. They get more and more over time. It starts off very slowly. So, you know, some of these videos, like in the first 7 days, they got like 1 or 2 views, and then like by the end of the month, they got like 100 or more. And it's interesting. I find that it takes a little time for the videos to actually, you know, rank a bit better, especially if you want to, you know, target keywords and get it ranked in Google. You know, it takes some time, man. And yeah, so you know, they're slowly making views. Some of them got shit fucking ad rev. Some of them got really shit ad rev, and that's fine. But you can start to look at the patterns. You can see what pays better, and then you can see what picks up more views, and then you can just make videos to, you know, cater to that. Does that make sense? So, you know, this is the reality, man. You know, there's no course that you can really take that will actually, you know, teach you anything. Like, these courses are just designed to scam you guys. Okay, they're designed to scam you, they're designed to take your money, and they'll just teach you all the same shit that you'll find everywhere else. So, you know, you could just look at what I'm doing, man. Just look at what I'm doing, and it works. It obviously works. Like, I have fucking proof here. I mean, I don't need to bullshit. I'm not trying to sell anything anyway, so, and I'm not going to sell a course on this shit. I'm not going to sell a course anytime ever. I don't give a fuck about courses. But this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing, and yeah, it's going to take a long time, and that's okay. I have some good ideas in mind for where I'm going to add more videos and how I can add like pretty much like infinite amounts of videos on the same repetitive topics. It's like you can do 100 videos of the exact same thing for like 100 different cars, and I'm doing cars, but you can do anything. I'm doing cars and like tech. Cars and tech, like TVs and all kinds of shit. Like, it doesn't really matter. I just do it, and it's easy for me to do it, and it doesn't take any time, and my thumbnails are fucking easy, and you know, in the end of the day, they're gonna just keep getting views, and they're just gonna keep printing fucking money, dude. And you know, that $4 will be $8 soon, and that $8 will be 16 and 32 and blah blah blah. It's gonna keep going up, man. And that's the plan. That's the plan. This one's cool. 37% click-through rate. 4 cents on 34 views. So dumb. It's yeah. It works. It works. Anyways, thought I'd share that. Also, one thing I don't do is I don't post the videos in the subscription feed, because sometimes I'm posting out like 20 videos in a single day, and yeah, I don't really want to piss off the current subscribers that I have and then lose a bunch of subscribers already on the channel. So in the end of the day, I'm not really trying to get quick attention for the videos. I'm just letting them sit there and do their thing and slowly build over time. And that's pretty much the plan with it. Just let them build over time, let them do their thing, and hopefully in the future, I can be one of those channels that's making 5-10 grand a month passively, consistently, and I could just let it sit there if I want to and not post anymore if I want to. But I would still post anyways because I like doing it. But I mean, that's the plan. That's the plan. Make a channel that will just consistently make more money. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And that's what I'm working towards. So yeah, anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, man. If you got through this much, 35 minutes of my bullshit that I'm talking, well, grats to you, man. You probably have less of a life than I do, so all good. Anyways, thanks for watching, and yeah, see you guys in another video. Sub if you want. If you don't, I don't give a shit. But yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.